Welcome to Lesson 28, Scientific Notation for Large Numbers. Our objective is that we can write large numbers in scientific notation using words. So scientific notation is a method of writing a number as a decimal times the power of 10. It's useful for very large or small numbers. For example, the speed of light is 3.0 times 10 to the 8th meters per second, whereas 30 is 3.0 times 10 to the first power. But that's not very helpful. It's a lot more helpful when you're working with really big numbers, like 3.0 times 10 to the 8 means that I'm going to have 8 zeros at the end. Ooh, I put my commas in the wrong place. 7, 8. My comma should actually go here. 1, 2, 3. So it's really helpful with really big numbers, but not so helpful with like medium to small numbers. 30 is relatively small. I mean, 300 million is pretty big. So let's try this one together. We have Earth's average distance from the sun is 93 million miles. Let's write it as scientific notation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the decimal here. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep moving the decimal until I reach a number that's less than 10 and greater than 1. So I moved it once. Oh, this is still bigger than 10. Moved it again, bigger than 10. Moved it again, still bigger than 10. Moved it again, still bigger than 10. Moved it again, still bigger than 10. Moved it again. 93 is bigger than 10. Moved it again. Oh, 9.3 is in between 1 and 10, so I'm done. So I know I'm going to have 9.3 times 10 to the, I moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So it's going to be to the 7th power. Next, we're going to talk about lesson 29, about ratios. Our objective is that I can write ratios in several different ways. So ratios are a comparison of two numbers by division. By that, I mean, for example, if there are 12 girls and 16 boys in a class, then we can express the ratio of girls to boys as a reduced fraction. So I'm going to put, since it's girls to boys, I'm going to put the number of girls on the top, the number of boys on the bottom. I'm going to reduce that fraction down. Then I can write it in three different ways. I could write it as 3 to 4 with the word 2 in the middle. I could write it as a decimal. I could leave it as the fraction itself, or I could write it with a colon in between 3 and 4. Usually, we'll see it as a colon. That way we know right away that it's a ratio. Sometimes I'll even see it as 3 girls to 4 boys. This lets us know for every 3 girls, there's 4 boys. So there are 9 girls and 15 boys in a class. What is the ratio of boys to girls in the class? So I want the number of boys on the top, since it came first in our ratio, the number of girls on the bottom. So there's 15 boys to 9 girls. 15 to 9, I can reduce that down if I take a 3 out of the top and the bottom. That's 5/3. I'm going to rewrite the ratio as 5 to 3. Just because I prefer that ratio. You can also put it as a decimal or as a fraction or put that word 2 in between. Whatever you prefer. Go ahead and try this one out on your own. Pause the video and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so let's look at this one together. A 30-foot tall tree cast a shadow that's 18 feet long. What was the ratio of the height of the tree compared to the length of its shadow? So we want the height on the top compared to the length, which means that we're going to have 30 to 18. So the height of the tree over the length of the shadow. 30 over 18, I can reduce that down if I take out a 3 from both the top and the bottom. That's going to give me 10, 6. Looks like I can take out another 2, which is going to give me 5/3. Oh, the same ratio over again. Look at that. So I'm going to write it as 5:3. Okay, Rosa kept the record of the number of pages and number of minutes that she read each night. Find Rosa's approximate reading rate for the book in pages per minute. I'm going to give you a minute to try this out on your own. Go ahead and pause the video. Try each of these out. Okay, now that you've tried them out on your own, let's do them together. So I want a ratio of pages per minute. So that's going to be, for this first one, pages over minutes. 15 over 30 is equal to 1/2. And boom, I've done that. So our pages per minute, that's 15 over 30, which can be reduced down to 1/2. 11 over 20, I can't reduce at all. 14 over 30, I can reduce down to 7/15. 20 over 40, I can reduce down to 1/2. 27 over 50, I can reduce down to 27 over 50. And then the total is 81 over 170, which I can't reduce at all. So that's going to be left as a ratio of 81 pages per 170 minutes. I found the error first. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.